Josh Berry is not the only one who is worried about Josh Berry's future in NASCAR come 2027. Dale Jr., a longtime supporter, former owner of his car, a former employer of Josh Berry, has come to Josh Berry's defense. And what Dale Jr. says goes a long way within the NASCAR community, both with teams, owners, and fans. Now, you have to look at the full context of the situation because Berry, who is 35 years of age, he raced for Dale Jr. at JR Motorsports, found his most success there, and has been a long-time advocate for him. And with Josh Berry not going to be returning to the 21 car for Wood Brothers in 2027, being replaced by Jesse Love, a lot of people, including Berry, have been wondering about his future. Now, what makes Berry a very interesting case is he recently came out and stated that he had talks with a team about going cup racing, and they wanted $3 million in sponsorship for him to be in their ride. Okay, so that is the background. That is the context. Now, let's get into Dale Jr.'s quotes. He was on the Dale Jr. download, and he talked about how he's a big fan of Josh Berry. And he said that when he was told he wasn't coming back to the Wood Brothers and that they were going to move in a different direction, he's been out in the media to say more, I don't know what I'm doing next year. I don't have any news to break. And he was talking about how he thinks that there is not a space for him right now in Cup. He doesn't know where Josh Berry is going to end up next year. He doesn't think that there's a space right now in the Cup garage for him, and that he doesn't think there's an opening, and he doesn't think that there's a team undecided on what they're going to do. Now, that is a realistic expectation. I would not disagree any further than that, because while there are contract talks going on with Austin Hill and RCR, he's expected to fill that 33 full-time next season. And so Junior started to look at, okay, well, if he can't be in Cup, what about O'Reilly's, right? He found success there. What if he goes back there? And Junior said that he knows that there's a couple of cars that aren't necessarily locked down, and there's a couple of places that he could probably go. However, and this is the soundbite, he said, and what Josh has done, I think, the last 3 weeks, and if he continues this weekend, which they should go out there and run top 10 at New Hampshire, if he continues that, is he creating an opportunity? Is there going to be somebody that goes, dang, man, let's just put this, why are we doing this? Let's just get this guy, We think that they're thinking about this other thing. Let's go get this guy. Now, what he's referring to is the fact that Josh Berry has run in the top 10 the last 3 weeks. And him having a short track past, that makes sense for him to go out there and run very well at New Hampshire. And he continued, and he was honest, and you have to give Junior credit for this. He stated that he doesn't think that Josh has a good idea of where he might end up, that he belongs in the Cup Series. There are stats that would say that there are things that he needs to clean up. He's wrecked a lot, and some wrecks are his fault, some aren't, some he could have avoided. He thinks that this has been a wake-up call for Josh Berry, that he's been given re-energized, motivation for his career going forward now that he's not returning at Wood Brothers, and that they got momentum and they're going to good racetracks for Ford, and the cars have gotten better. And for Josh Berry at a very uncertain time, there's a lot of things presenting opportunities there, and he's trying to seize it. And rightfully so, right? Rightfully so. But here's the warning. He said that if Berry doesn't have a full-time seat by February at Daytona, it would be an indictment on the entire industry, because he would be disappointed in the landscape. Like, he cannot understand how a guy like Josh Berry, who's ran as well as he has over 3 weeks, doesn't have a Cup ride next year. Well, Dale Jr., I got something to tell you, buddy. Just because you've run well 3 weeks in a row over the course of a several-year career in the Cup Series, and you won a race at Vegas last year, doesn't mean you're a Cup Series driver. It just doesn't, right? Like, there are guys who have been given opportunities and haven't fulfilled them, have not gone out there and performed the way that their equipment has been set up for. If you look at Josh Berry, he has had a little bit of a rough run at it in Cup. Like, if you want to defend him, let's give devil's argument here. Josh Berry goes to Stewart-Haas Racing. They touted him as the savior of Stewart-Haas Racing. Now think about that for a minute. Josh Berry, he found success in O'Reilly's. He won some races, but it wasn't like he was going out there and dominating like we've seen in years past, whether it's Connor Zillage, whether it's Austin Cindric, Chase Briscoe, Cole Custer, William Byron, Ty Gibbs, Chase Elliott. Like, you can go down the list. You know what I'm talking about. We consistently will see a driver go into the O'Reilly series and just dominate. And it's like, oh yeah, he's Cup ready. Not to say he will make it like major in the Cup series. He won't recreate that type of success in the Cup series, but man, is he ready. Josh wasn't that guy. So you go to Stewart-Haas in the dying days of Stewart-Haas, and he doesn't perform very well. Okay, you can't really say that's a knock on him. Chase Briscoe didn't perform very well. Stewart-Haas, they were a dumpster fire at the end. Okay, so you can't bid on. Well, he's been at Wood Brothers for a while now, right? He's had opportunities. He's had multiple season opportunities. Yes, he won a race. Yes, he's run well. Doesn't mean that he should have a Cup ride. Like, I think you have to look at a few different things for these Cup teams. Number one, can you bring sponsorship? First and foremost, and it's a large percentage of why you get signed. He doesn't bring sponsorship, and that's a problem. And number two, you're talking about a guy who I don't think is going to be he's not going to win 10 Cup races. He's not. And just because you have a very, very short sample size of success does not equate to long-term security, especially in a sport that has never been this cutthroat. And I think if you're going to be honest with yourself and you're going to look at the situation, I think that's where we land with Josh Berry right now. And I'm very curious to see where he ends up. I'm very curious to see if he's able to land a Cup ride, because today I just don't see it. Let me know down in the comments area below if I'm not seeing something that you are.